We're back on stream.
It doesn't show.
Yeah, hold up.
Oh, it does show. Good.
Oh,
It's
it does
showing?
show.
It shows? Okay. Bet.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to the stream. It's Project B-Ball here. I'm Relay Manungi.
Hard to tell.
Yeah, so yeah, the other members are gonna join a little bit into the stream. Don't worry, it's gonna be more than two people today. Today mainly we're gonna talk about the Super Bowl and go into more of an in-depth analysis of it. I think last week we touched upon it a little bit, but some of the members had to leave early, so we didn't really go full in depth. But right now, we're just gonna talk about our Super Bowl picks, and also currently, if I'm not mistaken, they're giving out awards right now, right? Harsh?
They are giving out awards right now for AP Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think I saw Justin Herbert winning that award, actually.
Yeah, and then I think Defensive Player of the Year they gave it to who was it? Aaron Donald too, just now.
Actually, let me check. Let's cut that.
Yeah. So we'll talk about the awards first, and then we go into the Super Bowl.
Okay, let's see. So we have um, where did they go? Oh, okay, so yeah, so they came out. So we have the MVP. Oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah. So okay, so far we got Comeback Player of the Year is Alex Smith. We got a head coach is Kevin Stefanski. We got Offensive Player of the Year is Derrick Henry.
Yep,
Defensive Player of the Year is Aaron Donald. Chase Young is the Defensive Rookie of the Year. Justin
yep.
Herbert is the Offensive Rookie of the Year, and I think that's all for right now. I think the MVP is gonna be released like anytime during the stream. So we got I think these are all like a little bit more predictable. So we can start off with a Comeback Player of the Year is Alex Smith. So I think he deserves it. Like after all the injuries, the surgeries this dude went to, like at one point it was not even sure if he's gonna have his leg, and then he went on to lead this team into the playoffs. Unfortunately, he didn't play in the playoffs, but when he was healthy, I think this team was like 5-1. So I think he definitely deserves to be comeback player of the year. I don't think there's any other player that really was in contention for this award. What do you think?
No, he definitely deserved it. What he broke his leg and was given like a statement saying that he would never be able to walk again. But here he is. He led his team to the playoffs, and now like he definitely deserved to win the Comeback Player of the Year award for sure.
Okay, coach of the year is my team's coach Kevin Stefanski. I think this is I think there was a lot of competition for this award. People wanted to give it to Sean McDermott, the Bills head coach. They wanted to give it to Mike Tomlin for the Steelers. They wanted to give it to Ron Rivera for the Red football team. But I think Kevin Stefanski is probably the one who deserved it the most. The Bills improved, but I don't think the way they improved is just them getting better over 1 year. I don't think like Sean McDermott like did anything major to the team to make it better. I think that individually they just got better. Ron Rivera led this football team to 7-9. That's a really good record. They won the NFC East, but like that's not that bad. That's not really the greatest division ever, right? So I don't think.
Um, in my books, it was definitely between Kevin Stefanski and Sean McDermott because the Bills did go 13-3, which is really good for that team. But Kevin definitely deserved it in my books. He did lead the Browns to their first playoff berth in 18 years, and they finished 11-5 during the regular season. Um, and then he also beat the Steelers in the wild card round, which was actually very interesting because we all thought the Steelers would beat the Browns, but he did his job pretty well, and he definitely deserved the Coach of the Year award.
I agree. Like Sean McDermott did go 13-3, so like honestly, it's really close between him and Stefanski. But the way I think about it is like the Bills went. Well, how many games did the Bills win last year? Like 10. Then now they win 13. Well, the Browns win from 6 to 11. So like that's a 5 game improvement. And like
Mhm.
the Browns like changed a lot, right? Like you can see like this is a different Browns team than the last couple years, right? So and then also they
Mhm.
led to the first time in playoffs. I think this award was just I think yes, Sean McDermott is probably second, but like Kevin Stefanski deserves to win this one. Next one is Derrick Henry, Offensive Player of the Year, 2,000 yards rushing. I think this is self-explanatory. I don't think anyone else deserves this award over him, and I think I'm glad that he got an award to be honest, because people were saying MVP, but I didn't think a running back was gonna win MVP. At least he won Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, definitely deserved it. 2000. plus yards, 17 touchdowns. Like one of the few members in the world to be part of the NFL 2000 club. Definitely deserved to be the offensive player of the year.
Also, the funny thing against his own division, he had in the year he had 1,100 yards against his division opponents. So 6 games he
Yeah.
had 1,100 yards. That's crazy.
Who is in their division
The
actually?
Texans, the Colts, and the Jaguars.
Oh yeah, he did go against the Jaguars. The Jaguars are pretty bad.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Next.
he did have games against the Jaguars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, go on.
Next one, we got Aaron Donald as Defensive Player of the Year. This is the one I don't agree with. I think T.J. Watt deserved it. If you look at pure numbers, T.J. Watt had more sacks, more QB pressures, more tackles for loss, and Aaron Donald was. I don't think he was fully healthy this whole season. Well, T.J. Watt had really good season this year, and I think he was the Defensive Player of the Year in my opinion.
I think Aaron Donald deserved it actually because he was being double teamed the whole time, and he still was able to get 13 and a half sacks and then like 4 forced fumbles and 1 fumble recovery, which is pretty insane for a defensive tackle. Um, this is third Defensive Player of the Year award now for Aaron Donald. He's just proving that he's one of the best of all time to play the game.
Yeah, I agree, but I just feel like I think from what I can see is like the Rams defense is like I guess yeah I think Aaron Donald's like the identity of that defense, but I also think like the Steelers defense identity is T.J. Watt, right? Because like without him, I don't think that defense is as good as it will be. But I just feel like T.J. Watt had more of an impact on like the Steelers like first going 11-0, while the Rams were like iffy throughout the whole year, right? So I wasn't sure because
Mm,
their defense was a little inconsistent too. While the Steelers always maintain that defense, it's just their offense that can never like really make any sense to anyone.
mm.
Okay,
It's
and
really like
yeah.
head or tail thing, but Aaron Donald got the nod, which is okay with me.
Okay, next we have defensive rookie of the year is Chase Young. I think this makes the most sense. I think he had like 7.5 sacks, few forced fumbles, and like tackles for loss and stuff like that. I don't think any rook that impressed me defensively. I don't think there is any, to be honest. A lot of them did get like kind of burnt, like especially the cornerbacks. All of them were really disappointing to start their career. But that's
Mhm.
usually how cornerbacks go. They'll have a couple years and then they'll become like lockdown corners soon. And then like people were talking about like safeties like Anton Winfield Jr. as defensive rookie of the year. I don't think he was. I think he was a little inconsistent to be honest to be defensive rookie of the year. I think Chase Young was just the most consistent rookie, and he was like the leader of that defensive line for the football team. And that football team, because of that defense, we were able to make the playoffs too. So I think this makes the most sense to me. Now the next
One,
one, yeah. Oh, you can go.
oh, one of my favorite players in the league, actually coming from Ohio State. We all know the best college football team of all time. Um, but he was a big impact on the defensive side of the ball for the Washington football team. I think he was one of the like biggest impacts for them on their playoff run. He was the main reasons why they got to the playoffs. Ended like pretty badly against the Buccaneers, but at least they got to the playoffs because of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next one we have offensive rookie of the year that's so far been released is Justin Herbert. I think yeah he broke the QB rookie touchdown record. It's amazing, and he also his team didn't win a lot, but like he did break some records, I think, and he was like the best QB that came out of that draft class, honestly, this year. A lot of people are saying Justin Jefferson should have won because he broke Randy Moss's rookie receiving yard record. I think just Herbert has more of an impact on the game than Jefferson, to be honest. So and I think whenever the Chargers won, it was probably because of Herbert was going off. Well, I think like the Vikings were kind of force feeding Justin Jefferson to make it like the Stephon Diggs trade wasn't like bad. So like try to like make Jefferson as good as possible. So the trade seems even. But honestly, yeah, I think Jefferson like he was my favorite receiver coming out of that draft, and he kind of proved this season that you shouldn't doubt him. But I just feel like he's getting forced the ball a lot, to be honest, and that's why he was able to put up numbers.
I mean, I in my books, I still had Justin Jefferson winning the award, but I'm fine with Justin Herbert winning it. Herbert had a great season as a rookie, having 31 touchdowns to only 10 interceptions as a rookie, which is insanely good. Why I would choose Justin Jefferson over Herbert would be because being a wide receiver in like a sport that had like many great wide receivers and becoming a Pro Bowler in your first year is actually a big feat. You know what I mean? Like that's a big achievement in your life. And he had like over what 1,500 yards. Am I pretty sure he had over 1,500 yards?
I
I
think it was
think in this season,
1400.
1,400 yards. Um, some might say like that team has like a lot of good wide receivers, which gave him like uh, a lot of opportunities to lead, but Kirk Cousins is not that great. And the fact that he got 400 yards in his rookie season says a lot.
Yeah, I see. Like, but like, but you understand where my point where it felt like they're force feeding them ball to make like the trade seem make sense. But I think Jefferson was the best receiver that came out of that draft, and I think he's gonna prove it next year. And he has some sort of ego with him too. But like that's what all number one receivers, they have that ego on them. So we'll see. I just think Herbert. I just think like
If you can
yeah,
block, you have to prove it. He definitely does.
yeah. I just think QB position is a little bit more valuable. It's more valuable than wide receiver position, and like Jefferson wasn't like really like impacting wins. Like the Vikings were worse this year, and because
Yeah, but part of it is definitely because of Kirk Cousins. Like he wasn't as great as the beginning of the season, but um, wide receivers do make a big impact on the game. Like without a wide receiver, like who is your quarterback going to throw to? You know what I mean? But I mean, I'm fine with the four too. I'm playing from me.
yep.
I think that's it, right?
Yeah, I
About
think the
so far.
MVP will come out later, but all I'll say right now, I think we both know it's Aaron Rodgers winning the MVP, so I don't think
Yeah.
we really need to discuss anything about that. 13-3, one this 48 touchdowns and like 6 picks. I think that speaks for itself. That's an MVP season right there, and that will be his third MVP, I think, too. So Hall of Fame career for him. Other than that, let's dive into the game a little bit then. The Super Bowl game that's gonna happen tomorrow.
Yep.
So
You want to go into it?
yeah, I'll talk a little bit. So some key things. Like I think last week we both talked about who we thought were gonna win. I think you said Chiefs, and I think I said Buccaneers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think the keys to this game is the turnover battle and see if the Buccaneers defense can turn over Mahomes. If they can turn over Mahomes, it will change the game into a whole another point. But like here's the thing, it's gonna be it's a difficult task to turn over Mahomes. But one thing that's good for the Bucks is Mahomes has no starting offensive tackle playing for him tomorrow. You just have backups, and then Jason Pierre-Paul and Shaq Barrett, who are their outside linebackers, will eat those offensive tackles alive. If they have the foot speed to catch Mahomes once he escapes the pocket and get the sack, then it would work. But my question is, will they catch Mahomes if Mahomes escapes the pocket? He's like the minute Mahomes escapes the pocket, he's a threat to run, and like he's an underrated runner, right? Because like people are just trying to
Mhm.
protect everyone else. They're trying to like double like Kelsey Hill and like single coverage everyone else. Like it gives him a straight line towards the first and 10 all the time, right? So
Yeah.
I think as long as like Jason Pierre-Paul and Shaq Barrett play their best games of their lives, like how they played against Green Bay, because they both combined for 5 sacks against on Aaron
But
Rodgers.
also, I feel like Aaron Rodgers is not that mobile as Mahomes it can be.
Yeah, but like Aaron Rodgers still is like a little. He's not like slow. Like he still has some speed on the with him. But like yeah, but they were able to get 5 sacks, and then also on the other people on the defensive line for the Bucks. We got Vita Vea, who's been really underrated. If he can make an impact in the game, he's really good as a nose tackle. And then we got uh, the Sue dude. He's old. Maybe he'll stop the run, but I'm not sure if the Kansas City is gonna run it too much because it's the best rush defense versus like one of the worst rushing offenses ever. So like it won't work.
My question for you is that who do you think has a better defense, the Chiefs or the Buccaneers?
I think um the defense is really like they're equal because I love the Chiefs secondary a lot. I don't like the Buccaneers secondary, but I love the
So
Buccaneers front
if
seven,
you
and the
if
Chiefs
you
front
think,
seven's not as good as the Buccaneers front seven.
if you think they have like a balanced defense, right? Like you think that they're about the same.
Yeah.
So then whose offense do you think is better?
Whose offense I think is better is probably the Chiefs offense, but like it's always about who's going to be opportunistic, right? So like like I said, the front seven of the Buccaneers, Jason Pierre-Paul, Shaq Barrett, Devin White, Levante David as their four linebackers. That's like the best linebacking core in the league right now, right? So
Yeah.
those four are gonna make the biggest impact on the defensive end, and like if you can get Mahomes out of there quickly, that's your best bet. Because like you can try like see if you can fumble some of these guys, but I don't think no one's gonna fumble. But there's one catch when we watched football last year, people were dropping passes on the Chiefs offense. So if you can like,
Yeah, but when it counted most against a pretty good Niners defense, they made plays.
but the Niners were playing some weird coverage. It was, like they, I don't think the Bucks will ever do
Well,
what the Niners did in that game. The Niners just got lucky.
yeah, but the only thing I have against the Chiefs that I think that they're not going to win is that Mahomes was not as great in the Super Bowl as like last year. Like he threw 2 picks in that third quarter. He did win the game, but like that's the most amount of picks he's thrown in a game, and that was in the Super Bowl. So the only thing that I can say that might hurt the Chiefs in the Super Bowl is if Mahomes turns the ball over.
Yeah, if Mahomes turns the ball over, this game's over. Like I'll tell you that. If like Mahomes turns it over twice, that's gonna be a big problem. Depending where he turns it over. If he turns it over in his own end zone, that's kind of weird. But like, I don't think he'll ever turn it over on the end zone. But like, let's say someone gets a strip sack or something like that. That'll impact the game immensely. Because he has two backup offensive tackles. So like, a strip sack is actually kind of possible here because like he won't have the same protection as he usually does. Um, but if we're talking offensive line, I do think I don't know of how much of an effect Chris Jones and Frank Clark are gonna have getting QB hits and pressures, but I do think blitzing will have an effect a lot. I think Tyron Matthew blitzing or like a safety blitz or a corner blitz like what they did with L'Jarius Sneed is a big possibility. And I think it will throw off Brady a little bit because it just happens a lot. But if they pick up the blitz, like if they, because a lot this year Gronk has been really good as a blocker. Like he's been like the best blocking tight end right now because like he's been taking out like all these edge rushers from the games from getting to Brady. So I don't know if like the blitzing is really gonna work. And then you have one less guy to cover like Evans, Godwin, and Brown, Scotty Miller, everyone on that offense. I think Brady has the more weapons, right? Than Mahomes. Mahomes has Kelsey, Hill, and then he has Hardman and Watkins. I think is healthy for it. So like those, I think Hardman and Watkins will have big games. Like how Watkins had a big game in the Super Bowl last year because he pretty much just beat Richard Sherman every time, but that's a different story. But I think Watson is going to be like the Chiefs X factor. Like as long as he doesn't drop the ball, I think he will have a big impact because I think the Bucks are going to play cover 2 man and cover 3 man most of the time. So it's going to just be double or triple teams on Kelsey and Hill most of the time. So and
But to have so many weapons, like other than like Hill and Kelsey, they have Watkins, McCole Hardman. Like they can make an impact straight away.
yeah,
The only reason the Chiefs is because of their high-powered offense.
yeah. That's the problem with cover 3. That means you're leaving someone wide open. like someone like
Yeah,
closer to Mahomes. Like if McCole Hardman's wide open, I swear that dude's gonna run for 20 yards after the catch, and that'll be a big problem.
they just have like exceptional offensive players on that team, and the defense is not too shabby either. Like
Yeah.
they have a good defense. So Tom Brady, if he wants any chance, I think he needs to play the game of his life to have any chance against these Chiefs. But we all know Tom comes up and shows up in the big game, so it'll be an interesting match.
Yeah, my one problem with the Bucks offense is that Godwin and Evans do be dropping a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Um, I really wish this year to see. I wish to see like old Gronk. Like if old Gronk played, old Gronkowski and old Antonio Brown. If they were on the Browns, I mean, if they were on the Buccaneers,
a game over.
that offense is insane.
Yeah, wait. Here's my thing. What I think is, I think Evans and Godwin are gonna like in the beginning of the game, but I have serious problems with them towards the end of the game because like Evans costed Brady two interceptions in the against the Packers. So like, I think God,
Yeah.
Godwin did get like the last like first down to end ice the game, but that was on a rushing attempt. That doesn't even count. Right, so like he didn't catch it. Godwin had a good game, but he did drop like 4 balls that game, and then the previous game dropped like 3. He has 7 drops in the playoffs. in
Hmm.
3 games, and in his whole career in the whole regular season has 6 drops ever, and then in the playoffs he has 7. That's
Yeah.
that's really scary. I hope he doesn't drop any like major ones, like because he looks like the guy who if Brady needs third and short he'll throw it to Godwin a lot if he doesn't have anything deep, because Godwin's getting like all the closer ones. But I think I don't think Gronk or Antonio Brown is gonna drop any balls this game. I think personally,
Godwin did have 110 yards in the conference
yeah, but
championship.
he dropped.
So
Yeah, he did play really well. Like, but one of the
yeah.
catches were on like a 50-yard like heave. So if you take out that one, it's
Mhm.
4 and 60. That's still a good game. But I think to me, I think Antonio Brown's going to catch like a game-winning touchdown or something like that. Because I think he's the one. Because the Chiefs like there is some I saw this video on like analyzing the game where a lot of the time when Antonio Brown when they were playing Week 12, Antonio Brown was being matched up with the safety most of the time, and Antonio Brown's beating the safety every single time. Like it doesn't matter if
Yeah.
he's 31 right now, but he will beat the safety every single time, and he's not dropping a ball in the Super Bowl. He won't. I think like he caught the game-winning touchdown during the foot. They played the Washington football team. So like I
Mhm.
think the guy who's gonna catch like something crazy. And I think Gronk will be really important. Like when when the Patriots played the Rams, Gronk caught that really big one towards the end of the game that got them to the red zone. You remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like things like that. I have zero trust in Evans or Godwin to make any of those big catches. But most of the time they're gonna be double teamed anyway. Um, what do you think about the running game? Do you think Tampa's gonna be able to run?
Mm, well, okay, let's see their conference stats, 'cause I don't think Leonard Fournette's gonna get that many touches anyways. He rarely gets any touches from uh, the Buccaneers, but I think this will be a pass-heavy game, to be honest.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go to conference championship. Let's see. So Leonard Fournette had 12 carries and 55 yards.
But one
So
touchdown.
my thing is the Buccaneers are definitely not gonna rush that often because my mentality is, you remember last year in the conference championship that the 49ers got like 300 yards in rushing on the Packers.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And here in this conference championship, you had the Tampa Bay team only getting 76 yards. So they're obviously not a rush or run first team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's definitely gonna be a pass heavy game.
It's gonna be pass heavy, but I always find I always do think though I think Leonard Fournette might have like some he might have like a run here or there like he had against Green Bay where he went for 20 yards. Like I think it's possible.
Yeah.
The Chiefs' running defense is not really that great, and their red zone defense is the worst in the league. So
Yeah.
like
He'll have a few runs here and there, but like I don't think he'll get like 20 carries in the game.
I don't think there's no point for him to get 20 carries. There's literally
Exactly.
no point. Yeah, I think if
He's
the
gonna be a threat in the passing game
yeah
though. Who knows?
he might have a good because Brady likes throwing to running backs as long as he can he's another problem with these drops. This dude would I don't think he's not used to catching the ball. So whenever he catches, I always getting so nervous because I feel like he's gonna drop the ball.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So what's your predict score?
my score I think if you see, I saw this. Brady never scores in the first quarter in the Super Bowl except once, and that was a field goal. So,
I got uh,
yeah. So I think Kansas City is gonna start the game like 7-0, right? They'll probably score on their first possession. I think they'll probably win the coin toss and they'll score on their first possession, right? I
are we
think,
putting bets in?
huh?
Are we putting bets in? Who's gonna win the coin toss?
Huh? Yeah, I think the
Who's
Chiefs are gonna win the coin toss and they're gonna go for it on their first
they're
possession.
gonna oh, they're gonna hit the ball.
Yeah, they're gonna get the ball.
Oh, I say Tampa's gonna get the ball and they're gonna defer. So the Chiefs get the ball first.
Uh, oh yeah, whatever I'm thinking, I think the Chiefs will have the ball first. That's all I'll think. But yeah, so Chiefs will have the ball first, and obviously I think they're gonna score on their first possession. I think Brady's gonna struggle the first quarter. And I think in the second quarter he'll start to heat up, and going into the half he'll be amazing, right? I think I think I think we might see like I think Shaq Barrett might have MVP Super Bowl MVP chance if he gets 3 sacks on Mahomes, and I really think that's possible for him because I think he's also
Oh
playing for a
yeah,
massive contract too.
yeah. Shaq Barrett winning your MVP.
I really do think he has a chance, to be honest, because he's playing against like one of the he's playing against a backup offensive tackle, and he's really fast. Like he's not gonna be like Mahomes is not gonna really be able to escape from him that easily.
Hmm.
My okay,
Uh,
my two like I have like okay, my first one is obviously gonna be Brady. I think he'll probably have like over 300 yards. I don't because this is gonna be a passing game. He's gonna have over 300 yards, and especially if they can get 1-on-1 on safeties, that it'll be game over literally. My second pick will be Shaq Barrett or Jason Pierre-Paul, whoever can get more sacks, or Devin White. Any of the four linebackers on Tampa Bay will be my second pick. Any of them who have a good game. And my third would be Antonio Brown as a sleeper pick. He might have like one touchdown and 100 yards or something because if Evans and Godwin's gonna be double the whole time, they're gonna rely on Antonio Brown because they're not gonna like they do have Scotty Miller and that other Tyler Johnson rookie dude, but like they're not gonna rely on them. You know what I mean? Like Antonio Brown's like a veteran receiver. He's the best receiver we've seen in the last 10 years. Like they'll definitely rely on him. And also when he came into the Buccaneers, he has had the most targets and the most receptions and the most yards those last 8 games he's played when he was on the Buccaneers out of Evans and Godwin. So he's obviously been the vocal point of the offense. It doesn't seem like that, but he's been targeted the most and he's been catching the most too.
I'm gonna keep it simple. I got the Chiefs winning by 5, like 31-26. I got Patrick Mahomes winning the MVP, but I wouldn't be surprised if Tyreek or Travis Kelce win as well.
Yeah.
And who was their other question we were saying?
Uh,
My sleeper pick for Super Bowl MVP would be um, McCole Hartman, actually.
yeah, I think he will have a good game too. To be honest,
Yeah.
I don't think I said my score. I think it's gonna be 41 Buccaneers, uh
41.
and 38 Chiefs, if that's even possible.
41. You got the Buccaneers scoring 41 points.
If they could get into the red zone, I feel like they can.
Do you have this game going into overtime by any chance?
No, I think it's gonna be ending a field goal on a field goal drive to win the game. I feel like whoever gets the ball at the end of the game will win the game.
I think 41's too much because you said yourself, Tom Brady's not going to score in the first
Yeah,
quarter.
honestly, wait, hold on. I'm gonna drop that down a little bit. Like, we'll take it 34-31. We'll do it like that. I think it's gonna be ended on a field goal. To be honest.
34-31 seems more.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, yeah, I can see that happening actually, but the other way around, I do have the Chiefs, but we'll see. Um, what else?
Yeah. Okay. So okay, we talked a little bit on the Buccaneers defense. We'll talk a little bit more on the Chiefs defense. I think they'll play mainly man, but they might throw in zone here and there, design coverages, like disguise coverages too, just to see if they can throw off Brady. But other than that, I feel like with the amount of weapons Brady has, like you can't get too comfortable, right? So like
Yeah.
keep on with the blitzing. Like I think blitzing, like at one point someone's not gonna pick up the blitz and you can get a sack out of it, and that would really ruin the game. Because I think if you could sack Brady 3 times, you would probably win the game. Because I think there's a stat where if Brady gets sacked more than 3 times, they lose the game most of the time too. And
Oh,
three
I definitely do see him getting sacked times.
3 times, I feel like I don't know because that offensive line has been playing out of their mind in this playoffs. Let's like and then also
That's true.
And
That is
Gronk has been like another offensive tackle because of how good he's been blocking the edge rushers.
yeah.
Like
If I feel like if the I mean, if the Buccaneers have a chance of winning, I think Antonio and Gronk have to have like a good game.
I think Gronk is gonna have a good game regardless if he doesn't catch the ball. I think he will stop. He will be really good pass protection. Like sometimes they don't even like he's in the game, but all he does is just pass protect. He's like
Yeah.
another offensive tackle because of how good he's been blocking, right? I think Antonio Brown is the wild X factor here because I think I know some people don't really like Antonio Brown around the NFL like because of all the scandals and everything, but I think there's a really good chance for him to like get his and Hall of Fame plea, to be honest.
Yeah.
If he
He's
wins,
still one of if he gets back to Pittsburgh days, he will be one of the best wide receivers we'll ever see in our lifetime.
yeah, especially in yeah, like when I was growing up, Antonio Brown is the guy. Like 2013
And
to 2018, Antonio Brown was no one can touch him. Like he was that
it
great. Like
was either him or Julio Jones actually.
yeah, but we haven't. Yeah, our Julio Jones unfortunately has been facing injuries and he hasn't looked like himself. But you always respected Julio Jones. But Antonio Brown is probably the best receiver we've seen in the last 10 years. And I feel like this is a Super Bowl game. I think he's his mindset is different too. You know, like he's not like what he was on the Raiders and Patriots. Like he's not that person anymore. He's only here to win and he will do whatever he can to win. And I feel like and I think and the thing about like the drops, I don't think this guy would drop a ball in a Super Bowl. I do think Evans and Godwin will drop, and I don't think Antonio Brown will drop it. And I feel like he's the security blanket. Like you throw it to Antonio Brown, he's always open anyways. Like there's footage of him being open all the time, but it's just like Evans or Godwin's just a little bit more open. But I don't think they're gonna be as open as they usually are. Throw to Antonio Brown, he will get to something. I don't know how like if Antonio Brown's gonna get those big like 30-yard throws. I think he's gonna impact the game with these yards after the catch a lot because Evans is not a yards after the catch receiver, right? He's a jump ball right receiver. He would just like
Yeah.
try to jump over you. Godwin is a little bit of both. He's the slot receiver too, so Godwin might just have a good game just because. And then the other receiving Scotty Miller and Tyler Johnson. I think Tyler Johnson might have a play here or there, but I don't think he's gonna play too much with Antonio Brown. And same here for Scotty Miller. He might be the dude like if like he might do something like he did in Green Bay, just like get a sneaky touchdown or a sneaky like 30-yard pass and a field goal or something like that. It might happen, right? I
Mhm.
think other than that, I think that offense is really difficult to deal with because of the different options. Like you can't like ignore any of those five receivers. And then you have Gronk and Cameron Brate who are really good tight ends. Cameron Brate is a little underrated in a tight end. He doesn't block well, but he's really good at the red zone. So he might have a touch. I think Cameron Brate might have a touchdown. I would bet money that he has one touchdown this game.
It's gonna definitely be about which role players have a better game, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think in offensively for the Chiefs, like if Tyreek Hill and Kelsey can get both over 80 yards and you get something out of Watkins or Harmon, you will win this game. Like
Yeah.
the key here is who is if the Bucks can shut one of them out. Like I think it's a really tall and difficult task if you're playing cover 3, cover 2 man the whole game in an idealistic society, you can shut both of them out with a cover 2 and cover 3, but you're not gonna be able to shut out like people being one on one. Like Clyde Edwards Hilaire will have like runs after he will catch the ball out of the backfield and hurt you if you do cover 3 the whole game because that's not gonna help. And then I think. Hardman, who else is their receiver? I think they had this dude named Brian Pringle and they have Demarcus Robinson still, right?
Yep.
Yeah, those guys might have like some catches here and there, might get a sneaky first down. I don't think Le'Veon Bell's gonna play at all, so that's unfortunate. But
I forgot he was on the Chiefs, not gonna lie.
yeah. Also,
But
who coaches better? Well, Andy Reid coach. Andy Reid is a better coach than Bruce Arians, but will Bruce Arians have his moments? You know what I mean? Like how when the Eagles Super Bowl against Brady, like how Doug Pearson had his moments and he pretty much outcoached Belichick in that Super Bowl. Can Bruce Arians do something like that? Like outcoach him like and whatever the defensive game plan it is for Todd Bowles and Steve Spagnuolo, it's really interesting how the defense is going to be played tomorrow because these two teams are really like offensively gifted, right? And their defense is really good. Like the Buccaneers defense is good. The Chiefs defense is really really underrated. I really wanted to
mhm,
see the game plan because like I think I don't know how much zone is going to be really played. I think it's just going to be depending on how quickly these wide receivers can get open. Oh, yeah, and
yeah.
also we should talk about some of the secondary because we haven't talked about the secondaries for both teams that much, right? So the Chiefs have Rashawn Breeland, lockdown corner. They have Tre'Davious Ward. Really, he's a good second corner. I don't know
Underrated corner.
who
Tre'Davious Ward, underrated corner.
underrated. I don't know who their third corner is. Oh wait, their third corner is L'Jarius Sneed, the guy I talk about all the time. He's been the steal of the defensive draft. I think he's been really good. Then they have Tyrann Mathieu as their safety. Who's their other safety? Do you remember?
Um, who is the other? Everyone just talked about Tyron Matthew. Let's see who the other safety is. Um, let me check.
let me Google it too. Chiefs safety. I feel like their other safety is really good too, but we're just forgetting the name.
Mm, Hitchens, Ward, Matthews, Sorensen.
Swarson's probably a safety, right?
Pretty. That's. Yep, it is Daniel Sorensen.
Yeah. Okay, that guy is I don't like that guy.
He's also underrated. He's really
He's
good.
really underrated. Yeah, that secondary is really good. But then if we move on to the Bucks, we have Carlton Davis. We have and who's the other corner? I'm forgetting the dude's name all of a sudden. Sean Murphy Bunting, who's been getting a pick every game. There's another corner I'm forgetting.
Let's see. It's Levante. No, is it Levante David?
Levante Davis is a
What is it?
linebacker. I'm forgetting another
Okay,
really.
Levante David. Yes, you have Barrett, Whitehead, Pierre Paul Adams, David Edwards, McClendon, Dean, and Dominican Sue. Uh, I don't know who their other safety is.
Their safety is Anton Winfield Jr. and Jason Whitehead.
Okay, then who's their
Who's their corner?
cornerback?
Oh, Jamel Dean. Sorry.
Oh, Carlton Davis and Dean. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're Carlton Davis, Anton Winfield Jr., Jordan Whitehead, and Jamel Dean. Uh, yeah, I'll tell you that. That's really, that is not the best. I think, it depends on the plays they
I
give you.
mean, they haven't done a bad job. They haven't done a bad
Yeah, they
job.
haven't done a terrible job. I'll say that. Like they had their moments, like Sean Murphy Bunting, who has a pick every single game. Like if he can snag a pick too, that'll be like I think that's like some record stuff too. If he can get another
Yeah.
interception, I think Carlton Davis he's really like like he's so iffy to me sometimes. Sometimes he's really good, like especially when he's playing against Michael Thomas. But when he's not playing against Michael Thomas, I feel like he gets burnt way too much. Like Marquez Scantling had like a 50-yard touchdown on this dude. I think Tyreek Hill had most of his 263 yards on Carlton Davis too during that one game when it was Chiefs versus Texans. But
Yeah.
Jamel Dean, I think he's an underrated corner. I don't know how he might have an impact on this game. Anton Winfield Jr. got a fumble. He's the defensive safety. He's the like people say he's like the leader of that secondary. He's been underrated. If he can make another play like what he did on Jared Cook, that would be amazing. I don't know if anyone's gonna fumble the ball like that, but if he can, that would be good. And then Jordan Whitehead had a fumble on Aaron Jones that really changed the Green Bay game a lot. So I think these guys are underrated. If they can create turnovers, that would be really good. Like I think Todd Bowles, like his mantra is that like if you can get a turnover, you change the game. So don't always go for a tackle. Always try to go for a turnover because that just changes the game more, right? So like if these guys can do something that
But see, if you do have that mentality, you can be over aggressive, and that could bite you in the.
yeah, that's the whole problem with that defense. Like this whole Buccaneers team is built like that. Like risk and no biscuit. Like all like they take all these deep shots. They take all these risks and like sometimes they work in their favor, right? And sometimes they don't. Like the Green Bay game was a perfect example. In the first half, Brady was throwing 40-yard heaves, 50-yard heaves, and they're catching it. But in the second half, he had 3 interceptions, and all because no one was catching the ball after he throws it. He kept throwing it deep. They kept intercepting. It's unfortunate that Green Bay uh, couldn't score on any of the turnovers. That's really disappointing. Aaron Rodgers is a choker, but that's a different story for another day. But yeah,
Breaking news: Aaron Rodgers just won his
third.
third MVP.
Oh, he
Yep.
did. I think we already talked about that, but yeah, he just won the MVP. As I called him
Uh,
a choker.
had a great season, but he did choke in the playoffs, so
Yeah,
I don't care.
we don't care. Yeah, but wait, so what I was saying is like this Buccaneers team will go for the big plays, right? And that's what they built their identity on. And I think like originally at the beginning of the season, it wasn't Brady's style. You know what I mean? That's why they were struggling a lot. He's just like he doesn't like he likes to play more conservative. But once Brady like took in that style, the last like ever since they lost to the Chiefs, they've been amazing. They haven't lost a single game, obviously, and they're on a roll. Well, the Chiefs have been on a roll too, right? It's gonna be
Yeah.
I think it just depends on who can outgun who, I guess. Like, will Mahomes like outgun Brady or Brady will outgun Mahomes? I
Who do
also
you
do.
think
I
have more passing yards?
who's gonna Mahomes obviously. I don't.
Really, I think Brady's gonna have to pass more in this game.
Yeah, but I just
So I
my
think,
problem is I feel like people are gonna drop Brady's passes.
mm, I see. Yeah. I don't know.
I,
I,
it's gonna be really interesting. Like, also on, yeah, and then if we haven't talked about the Chiefs linebackers, do you know any of them? I honestly don't remember a lot of them names.
Chiefs linebackers. We have name. Give me a minute.
I don't think that's like their worst positions.
They have decent linebackers actually. You have what are the names?
I don't know any of
I
these names.
don't.
I'm going to the Chiefs roster on the NFL website or the Chiefs.com. I'm trying to understand. They have Darius Harris. Is that anyone you know? Anthony Hitchens. I feel like I know that dude.
I've heard of them.
They have Ben Needham. I don't think that guy plays.
Oh, Anthony Hitchens is their linebacker.
Who?
Yep. Anthony Hitchens is their
Yeah, I
linebacker.
said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that line.
That's about it.
Yeah, that linebacking is not the greatest. Yeah. Okay, so
But they get the job done. You know what I mean?
but they get the job done, but like, I don't think. Yeah, we had to Google their names. That already says something, right? So like, if like Gronk could get one on one with a linebacker, I think it's almost over. Like that, like I don't think any of these guys can cover. Like if they could get any matchup, if it's one on one against a linebacker, I think Tom Brady is gonna take it
Well,
every
it's
time.
actually it's a rule. I mean, not a rule, but like mostly it's always safety versus tight end. So if Gronk were to go out in the passing matchup with Tyrann Matthew,
Why would they? But like Tyrann Matthew's 5'9", Gronk is 6'7".
but he's Tyrann Matthew.
True, true, true. How many picks do you think Tyrann Matthew's gonna get on Brady this game? He had one. I think he
I
had.
don't think he'll get a pick on Brady, but I think he'll have a big impact. You know,
Yeah,
like he'll break up passes.
yeah. I think usually a running back gets one on one with the linebacker, right?
Yes, the linebackers go for the running backs, unless like you're blitzing, then they go for the quarterback.
Okay, so okay, will will Ronald Jones or Fournette catch a pass one on one against a linebacker? I don't think they're like that.
I mean, obviously there might be that one pass.
The one pass, but like, yeah,
You know, it's
I think like, the Chiefs linebackers are lucky that the I don't think the Bucks can really exploit them, right?
yeah. See, this is very hard because the defense, both their defense, they're not the best, but they're also not bad.
Yeah,
So, I mean, I don't know, but we'll just watch the game.
we'll watch the game. But do you think Frank Clark, I mean Chris Jones will have much of an impact against the Buccaneers offensive line that's fully healthy?
Not a big impact, but I think they'll have like here and like a sack here and there.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Yeah. I think. Yeah. The Chiefs' defense is just like okay. It's really like opportunistic, like because how much pressure the Chiefs' offense puts it allows this Chiefs' defense to play freely. You know what I mean? They can take
But
their
see, that's how great their offense. They're able to do that.
yeah. So they'll get lucky. Like that's why that's why they might be overly aggressive in the red zone a lot. That's why they're not really good in the red zone because they just I think they know like at that point if they get scored on, they know that their offense will score back a lot of times. So we'll see. I think also I'm thinking like yeah. So the Chiefs secondary is really good. So and the linebacking's okay, but the Bucks can't really exploit their linebacking, and then the defensive line will be decent. What I don't know how many times the pocket's gonna really collapse on Brady like that, but it might happen in like a crucial situation, like at the end of the game where the offensive line is tired or something. That would help. Also, what defense do you think the Chiefs are gonna run? They're gonna run man zone. Which one?
I think they'll run like a bit of both actually, because zone when you have like three wide receivers on the field, but then they'll play man when they only have like two or two wide receivers and one tight end.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the Chiefs defense can be really interesting. Like they can free flow. While I think the Bucks really only have two choices here because anything else that'll get exploited that'll be a big problem. Especially like don't play zone against the Chiefs because you're just gonna get beaten up every time. You can mix it up here and there. You can throw zone, but like you can't play like the Bucks really only have a couple options if they don't want to get scored if they don't want 50 on their heads.
Yeah. You think? I was asking my friends with this. Do you think the Buccaneers are going to run any trick plays tomorrow?
I don't think I've seen a Buccaneers run a trick play all season.
Exactly. Which will throw them off. Like, like what if Bruce Arians just draws up a play?
It'd be really interesting. I would love to see a trick play. Like I would love to see Brady as the wide receiver on a trick play, but I don't think he'll ever catch a ball like that.
You remember the meme from like the Super Bowl against the Eagles when he
Yeah,
dropped a
yeah,
ball?
yeah. I
But
I see the Chiefs running red zone trick plays though, on like first and second down.
like they did against the Niners
Yeah,
last year.
yeah. They'll
Yeah.
run red zone trick plays. But here's the thing. I don't think the Buccaneers defense is gonna get too throttled by it because the Chiefs tried on them in the first game and they stopped it every single time. So that's obviously something on their scouting report they already know how to deal with.
We're actually Buccaneers versus Chiefs regular season. They play in the regular season.
Uh,
27-24. Oh wow. Oh wait, Patrick Mahomes did have 462 yards that game. Wow. Oh, see, look at the regular season game between these two. The score was 27-24. Patrick throws for a 462 yards and three touchdowns, while Brady threw for 345 with three touchdowns and two interceptions. Interesting. Um, I don't. I mean, I also see the Chiefs winning this game. After that,
Yeah, but here's the thing. After that first quarter, the Buccaneers outscored the Chiefs 24-10 in the next three quarters. So they definitely figured something out in those three quarters.
yeah. Um. Oh wow, Tyreek Hill had 269 yards that game.
Yeah, but he had 203 in the first quarter. So
Yeah.
so if you ignore the first quarter, like they really slow. Mahomes had like 240 in the first quarter, right?
Yeah.
So like
They
he had
definitely figured something out against the Chiefs, but
they did something to make him not drop 1,000 on them, and Tyreek Hill not drop 800 on him. But um, I think yeah, I don't think this is gonna be a blowout. That's one thing. I hope it's not a blowout, but I don't think it will be. Right?
I don't think it's a big blowout either.
Yeah. Oh, also another thing key is will the Chiefs kicker miss a field goal or miss an extra point?
Harrison Butker,
Yeah, cause he been a little inconsistent recently. So
he was so good last year. I
yeah,
don't know what happened.
last year he was
Um,
best kicker in the league or something like that.
yeah, I don't think he will, but I mean, he might miss an extra point,
Yeah,
like the first quarter extra point. I can definitely see that happening.
yep. And I don't know who the Buccaneers kicker is to be honest, but I don't think that.
Isn't it what's his name? Ryan? No, actually, I have no idea what it is. Who is it? Buccaneers kicker. I know they switched out of their kicker like every day.
Yeah, no, their kicker got changed in the middle of the season.
um, I have no idea.
I'm on,
Oh, it's Ryan Snow. September. I don't know, but we'll leave it.
oh,
We'll
it's
leave it at
Ryan
that.
Suckup.
Ryan suck up.
Yep.
So I got 31. No, what did I say? What was my score? 31-26 Chiefs, and you said what?
I said 34-31 Bucks.
All right, and then I guess we'll just see tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see. I think also yeah, I'm just looking through these teams again. Yeah. Uh Yeah, other than that, I think we went over the main players that are gonna make a lot of impact, like in the game. I think like we'll see what happens. I think it's gonna be a fun Super Bowl. I think this is gonna be one of the more fun Super Bowls in a while. Like I remember last year's, it was boring until the fourth quarter, but at that point in the fourth quarter, the Chiefs like destroyed the Niners. So
I found last year's Super Bowl very interesting,
me
actually.
too. I did find it interesting, but like I think
The first half was definitely boring.
yeah.
I'm so mad about that George Kittle call in the end of the second half, but other
Oh
than
yeah, oh
that,
yeah. There's gonna be some terrible calls this game. I'm already calling it because I'll tell you this: the Buccaneers were low key lucky in that second half to not get any weird penalties. Because like there was a lot of interesting stuff that happened at the end of the game that didn't get called. I'll tell you that.
mhm. But I mean, in every game, there's obviously going to be a weird call, but we'll see if anything major happens tomorrow.
Yep.
So there you guys have it. There are Super Bowl predictions and analysis.
Yeah, I think we extended our talk for the Super Bowl. I think yeah, we told our score and everything. I think it's gonna be a fun watch tomorrow. I'm gonna be like we may drop a video analyzing it, or if we'll just do a stream in the weekend after everyone has some time to like sit down and relax and understand what actually happened. Then we'll do a stream and talk about the game. I think that'll be good at Super Bowl. Right now, me and Harsh will talk a little bit back into the NBA and talk about some weird things that are happening in the NBA with this whole
I would say Steph Curry has 54 points right now.
what? What?
Yeah, but they are losing to the Mavericks by 4 with like 40 seconds left. That
Oh,
is,
he has
you're insane.
54 points. You're right. Oh my god. He has 11
That
threes.
mm-hmm. He had like 7 in the first half.
I didn't even realize he was playing that well.
Yeah, he had 30 points in the first half, and now I mean, we'll see how this game turns out. There's like 40 seconds left. But other Warriors, we have Kevin Durant. Can we talk about that?
Oh yeah, that was something I really wanted to talk about. Here, okay, the situation was he was apparently not gonna start the game, right? But then they still played him off the bench. That's kind of weird. Kevin Durant came off the bench. Yeah, he came off the bench. Played
In
19
the
minutes.
first
They
half
took him
of the
out of the game, right? And when he was
Mhm.
back in the locker room, he tweeted "Free me." And then after the game, he was bashing the NBA on Twitter, saying like you can't like hide what happened. You're with all this all the words or trying to hide the fact. And then it came out today. Apparently, he was with some team employee who tested positive for the virus, right? And this team employee was not wearing a mask, and Kevin Durant apparently was not wearing a mask. But the thing was, Kevin Durant was tested negative 3 times in the past in those 24 hours, and now he's going to quarantine, and he may return Friday. Th- I'll tell you this: these rules are so harsh. Like it's a joke. Like of how diff. I'll tell you, player safety is number one. Obviously, we don't want any players catching the virus and all that stuff. But sometimes you can take it to the extent where where these guys are not having fun. This is their job, and they want to have fun, right? Like this is just so weird with that the fact like that these type of things are happening. Like this is a players' league, and I think that people understand this now. That players control the NBA, right? If they don't like it, they're gonna say stuff like, "Let's talk about this All Star game that came out of nowhere." Like, remember in the beginning of the season they said no All Star game, coronavirus here, that, no point, that this would be causing too much problem. Now we have skills competition and All Star game, and they may add the 3-point and dunk contest if they feel like it. It's all
As much
because
as that All-Star game, it's not a smart idea.
not a smart idea. Like LeBron was like, "Hey, beginning of the season, he's like, okay, All Star weekend, I can take my break. I only hit 71 days of off this season. I can get my break and whatever." But instead, he's now he needs to play an All Star game, right? That he has zero interest in. They're gonna put the same rules they had last year, so like they're gonna actually try at the end, right? So it's not no longer a rest. It's just like, dang. But if my thing is, if players don't have any enthusiasm, we're not gonna have the same All Star game we had last year.
Quick reminder: Steph Curry has 57 points now.
Oh my god. We should watch him. Yeah,
I
Jokic had
watched
50 today. Jokic had 50 today.
Jokic did have 50, but they did lose, which is kind of funny. But why are the Warriors not fouling right now? They're what is going on?
Why are they not fouling?
Why are they not fouling? What is going on?
It's 134, 130, 5 seconds left.
Why did you not? You had 24 seconds and you didn't foul a single time.
Draymond Green has 15 assists. Damn.
What was that?
That's game over.
Are you guys what?
Yeah, if you guys
They're
want us
down by
our
one.
live
They're
react,
down by one. 24 seconds left, and you decide not to foul, and you let Max, whatever his name is, Kleber, hit the 3-pointer, and now you're down by 4 with 5 seconds left.
yeah, good luck.
Are you what?
Kleba hit that shot. Okay, okay. Yeah. So what's your whole?
Why, why am I not the head coach for the Golden State Warriors? What is going
What,
on?
okay. Wait, Harsh. What's your whole view on the All Star game and what happened to KD?
For the All Star game, I think it's really stupid for the NBA to actually host. As much as it would be fun to watch, it's not a smart idea, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. But for the Kevin Durant thing, they're very funny to see like what happened to him. But like, how are you gonna make a guy sit out the game and then let him re the game and then kick him out of the game again? Like that. What's the NBA doing? Like,
Yeah, hold
are
up.
you guys insane?
If there was really problems with him not playing the game, why was he playing the game? He was around like the whole Sixers and his team, right? Like, what was the whole point of him playing? He was around so many people.
That's what I'm.
Like, I don't understand this. Like, I think it's a little bit ridiculous that it's like gone to this level, honestly. But it's for the safety of the players. I understand. But like for me, it just takes away the enjoyment of the game, right? We had 24 postponed games this year. That
I mean,
we still
as
don't.
much as I don't like games, but like the NBA really can't do anything about it. It's
Yeah.
just a virus.
Yeah. Like they're not gonna go back into a bubble, even though they should. Honestly, that's their like best bet if they just want no postponed games. If they want to make money, like I think that's your best bet. Like you're not gonna have fans, but like you will still make something, right? Like you can have an all-star game in a bubble, right? So like, and you can have all the competitions. You'll get your money out of those, right? You'll get your skills, you get your 3-point, your dunk, like you'll get all those, right? Like if it's a money like standpoint, like being in a bubble just makes the most sense. You're not gonna have a single postponed game necessarily, right? So to make up
Mhm.
the money they lost from those 24 games, they're having an All-Star game because they know that thing is gonna sell. We're all gonna watch the game. We might not have the full interest in it if the players don't have full interest in it, but like we'll watch the game if it's any. We'll talk about it. If it's not, we're not gonna waste our time on it, right? But like what I mean is like I just haven't enjoyed this NBA season so far a lot because a lot of times things are stars are out for like a couple weeks, like and then like and then
So what's your big like, what? Why don't you like it?
yeah, I'm explaining right now. So like, stars have been out for a couple weeks because of the virus and like other situations, right? So it doesn't. So my enjoyment to the game is a little bit like not there because I watch the NBA for seeing how these star players go or how maybe new up and comers play, and also these postponed games have just gone to my nerves. Like for me, it hasn't affected me like that much, but it does. I know it affects a lot of other people and like teams. Don't see the improvement of the players, right? Like if these teams are not playing, like the Lakers have not missed a game, and no one on the Lakers has contracted a virus, which I think is a cheat code. Someone needs to talk to the Lakers and figure out what they're doing, where they're not even getting complaints about people having the virus, right? Like they don't even have contract tracing or whatever the NBA is called, right?
My opinion on the postponed games is that like as much as like fans and like fantasy basketball users don't like the postponed games because their players not playing.
Oh yeah, my fantasy team was like literally has not worked because of postponed games. But that to me I don't really care about, right? So
Yeah, but like in my head, it's like, what can the NBA do? They're trying their hardest, right? Like they're at least making this regular season work. And if there are going to be some postponed games, there it's like it's going to happen, like regardless. But the fact that they're like somehow making this work is actually really cool because with it, like with all these like restrictions and everything, they're like making it work. You know, so
yeah,
that's why I don't get too mad about the postponed.
yeah, I agree. I like I'm happy that it's still going on, right? Like I don't think we have I don't think we had a postponed game in a while, to be honest. But I think a couple more will get postponed soon. But I think it's just more like just the general enjoyment towards the league. If your favorite team is not playing for 3 weeks, like Memphis has like barely played a lot, right? So like whoever's a fan of Memphis has been disappointed because they thought this is their year, right? So like other teams in the league have played 23 games. Memphis has played 17.
It's hard to understand that that's just how like this pandemic's gonna work out
Yeah,
because some teams are just gonna get like if one person gets it, then like the chances of other people getting it within that team is very high too.
yeah, yeah.
Because it's like
I
sorry,
understand
go.
the sentiment of it, right? Like they're doing it obviously for player safety and all that stuff. But like to me, it takes away. Like I don't disagree with their what they're doing. I just find it less enjoyable to watch.
I think also like a plus with these postponed games and like some like star players sitting out is that other players get to like fill in their position. We can see like incoming star players. You know what I mean? Like who can really play.
Oh yeah,
I think
yeah. I think there's definitely been some surprises this year. Like who's been playing really well, right? So like there's been some interesting players that have came out because of like of people like not playing like different situations and stuff like that. I think honestly by the playoffs, I think my enjoyment's gonna come back because I think it's gonna be like everyone's gonna be focused. These games are not gonna be all high scoring and blowouts all the time too. That was a problem. Like high scoring games sometimes or to me are fun to watch, but I don't like it when they're just blowing out people out, right? So like I
yeah.
that's no enjoyment to anyone, right? But like these close games, like this Warriors Mavericks game is probably was a really good game. I didn't watch all of it, right? But it was probably a really good game, right? Because Luca had 42, Curry had 57. Porzingis has been disappointing ever since he left the Knicks, but that's a different story. I don't.
Um,
Let me talk about Kristaps Porzingis as I mentioned him. Ever since this dude has left the Knicks, he has not been Porzingod. He's been uh
try.
Porzing trash or Porzing. I think I had another nickname for him. Porzing miss. Porzing miss.
No, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I did say on this podcast one, I thought Porzingis could be the best player in the league, but he has not played
You
anywhere
did say
near
that.
a top 40
I remember
level.
you saying that. I was just like, "Are you okay?"
No, because when he was on the Knicks, you can't deny what the talent that guy had and how good he was as a number one option. And when he was healthy, like to me, when I saw him on the Knicks that 1 year before he got his ACL torn, I thought he was really he was special. I thought him and Luka would be like. I thought in 3 years from now, I think I that was me 1 year ago. I thought like in 2024, I think Kristaps Porzingis and Luka will be the two best players in the league, and no one can stop them. As of right now, it looks like Luka will be the best player in the league, and Kristaps Porzingis might get traded in a couple years.
Have a bad game today. Let's see what his stats were. Luca had 42. He was insane. Christian had 18. I mean, not bad.
But like, not I'm expecting him to be like a superstar, bro.
Let's see what's his stats looking like this year. 20 points a game, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. I mean, that's not bad after like 1 year of surgery. You know?
Yeah, I don't know, but like my expectation of him, like you know what I mean, like 20 points, 8 rebounds. That's still really good, right? Like he's not a top 40 player in the league, but he's
If
really
you
good.
get back to like, the Nick days, then obviously, like we'll be talking differently about him. But
Yeah,
like, I'm not mad about his stats. You know, like
yeah, yeah. I agree.
I mean, his stats have been like detrimental to the team. Like the team's been doing pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't think he's the reason why they're losing. I think it's just they can't play defense at all. This whole Dallas team. Last year they were somehow managed to play some defense. Like they were underrated defensively. This year I don't know what happened to these Mavericks defensively. I thought Jason
Mhm.
Richardson would improve the defense, but it looks like he has not improved it at all.
I mean, we have a couple new pieces, so it'll take like I'll give it like another 5 games for them to mesh, and then
Yeah,
they should on like if they continue to perform, then will be like there'll be problems. Like you know what I mean?
yeah,
But no,
yeah. The most disappointing team is New Orleans, though. If I'm New Orleans and Miami, to be honest, are the most disappointing teams.
but
Maybe
Miami's had a lot of problems.
yeah, but
Like
that's because they don't have their players, honestly. So
yeah,
I, I I think Washington and New Orleans are really disappointing this year. I thought Washington would make a play for like a seventh, sixth seed, to be honest, but where it's looking at now, they're the 14th seed. Ugh.
on paper, bro, they don't have that bad of a
On
roster.
paper, I thought their roster was really good, but that's that's what it is. Sometimes on paper these things look really good, but when it happens, like you're like, oh, there's some major problems here, right?
Let's see what they're roster like. Russell Westbrook, Bradley Beal, Rui Hachimura, Denny Abdiha, their drafted player. Davis Bertans. That's not a bad looking team. That's like an 8 seed team right there.
Yeah, this team looks like an 8 seed team, but they're the 14 seed because of underperformance. They don't perform as well as they used to, right? Or supposed to. And then the Pelicans has just been like, I'm not sure, like second year of Zion, we shouldn't expect too much, but I thought this team had like talent to the point where they could make the playoffs. You know what I mean? Steven Adams, Nikhil Alexander Walker, Lonzo Ball, Eric Bledsoe, Josh Hart, Jackson Hayes, Brandon Ingram. Just reading that. JJ Redick and Zion. Obviously, this team is really good. I just think they hired the wrong dude for being the coach of the Pelicans.
Who's their coach right now?
Stan Van Gundy. Sorry.
Oh, I mean, they won their last 3 games. If they win today, which it looks like they will,
Oh yeah, they're heating up though. Yeah.
they won their last 3 games. I mean, 9-12. I can still see them being the 8 seed. You know,
Eight seed, yeah, they'll be close, but
they'll probably be participating in the play-in.
yeah. Oh yeah, the play-in is still. I think play-in games are gonna be really fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. But let's go into Eastern Conference. We got surprising the 76ers. I would never thought the 76ers would be the first
I
this far into the
I
season.
did think they'll improve, but I realized they'll improve this well. What Ben Simmons play has not changed his game. What Ben Simmons degree like hasn't been playing as good. I don't know what happened to Ben Simmons this season. Like honestly, let's look at his stats. Where is Ben Simmons? Where is he? There he is. 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. His rookie season was 16 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists.
Hey, but the team is winning, so we really can't say anything.
True, but
Like, if
like,
the team's winning, the team's winning.
but yeah, I guess, but like, I think you're hurting Ben Simmons in the long run the way they're playing right now.
I mean, if you're gonna win, I mean, it doesn't matter.
True, but like, what is Ben Simmons really doing to help the Sixers win? Right? I feel like,
I mean, defensively, man's been insane.
yeah, true. Defensively, this guy's on a whole nother. He had 3 steals today, so
That team looks solid. Ben Simmons, Seth Curry,
Tobias
Tobias,
Harris, yeah. Oh,
Joel.
Tobias Harris has a resurgence here. He's playing way better this year than last year.
Even their like role players have been pretty good, like Dwight, Danny Green,
Yeah.
Tyrese Maxey.
Tyrese Maxey, my guy at Kentucky, that guy he's really good, but he doesn't play much, so.
Let's see what he's looking like. Averaging 9 points this season, not bad. That's a good player.
I don't think he's playing every game, so.
He's not. When he does play, like against the Trailblazers, he played 21 minutes. He got 50 points.
Yeah.
So not bad. But can we please talk about LaMelo Ball?
Oh yeah. Obviously, we'll talk about the Hornets. The Hornets, bro. Whoever the coach of the Hornets is, that was the wrong hire. But thank God he finally started Lamelo Ball. I've been saying this. I think Lamelo Ball will be. I said Lamelo Ball will be a stud in this league, and he will be really good if you give him the opportunity to play. Right now, he's now starting over Devonte Graham, who has not played well this season. Him and Terry Rozier is the backcourt. Really, defensively, this Hornets has a problem just because of how they're structured, but like offensively, they can score with the best of them. And I think Lamelo Ball is not gonna have like a really good stretch where he's gonna end the year averaging like 16, 17 points a game. He's gonna win the Rookie of the Year, and he's gonna go into superstardom after that.
I love watching Charlotte. Their games are always interesting. I've been close. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
They beat the Bucks the other day. They beat the Heat like the other day. And now, I mean, they lost to the 76ers. That game was pretty close as well.
They like lost to the Jazz too, but like Lamelo had his like best game of his career with the 34 points
Yeah.
too.
What are they looking like? 9 seed. Not bad.
Yeah, 9 seed. Yeah, they have a chance to make the playoffs. I think if Lamelo, Gordon Hayward does their thing. I'm interested when Devonte Graham is gonna go back to his old self. To be honest.
If you okay, so let's say Devontae Graham goes back to his old self. What's your starting lineup for the Charlotte Hornets?
I want them to run what OKC ran last year with their 3-point guards. 3-point guards and Gordon Hayward and Cody Zeller.
Think about that defensively. All three of them are beyond ass.
Yeah, but like still offensively, they'll score with the best of them. Like the
Yeah.
reason why the 3 point guard lineup worked for the Thunder last year, I think, is because defensively they'll lock you down, right? So I
Uh, who else? Let's see the roster. LaMelo. Oh, I forgot Gordon Hayward was a thing. He's been playing pretty good too.
yeah, she's been All-Star level too. 23 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. PJ
See who
Washington,
if
Miles Bridges.
Durant gets back to his self. My starting lineup would probably be. Let's see, Lamelo. I would have Lamelo starting with Devontae, Gordon Hayward. Who's our power forward?
PJ Washington or Miles Bridges.
Miles Bridges has only been good if Lamelo's on the floor. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he's been getting all those dunk highlights.
Yeah. Um. Oh wow, the Hornets have Vernon Carey Jr. No way.
Yeah, they do. They
Oh, yeah.
do. Underrated. Yep.
He was this. He was a 32nd pick in the second round.
I know it was really weird. I don't know how you. I feel like, I think like it's just like really interesting.
Whoa, that's a steal.
Yeah, no, it was a steal. Yeah. I,
Wowzers.
yep. I think. Um. Yeah, I think the Hornets have a good chance of making the playoffs and things. I want to talk about the Knicks because they've been surprising too this year.
Ooh, the Knicks have been pretty good this year. Well, not pretty good, but like they've been above par.
Yeah, Julius Randle, 23 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. That's really good. We have Alfred Payton, 12 points, for. I think he's been.
Yo,
They're
this team in 5 years, like 3 to 4 years,
the Knicks or the Hornets.
both actually,
Yeah.
Knicks and Hornets in 3 4 years, probably be like the 3 seed.
Yeah, I see the Knicks. I feel like the Knicks still need to find like players that will like stay long term, right? I'm really uncertain who's staying long term on this team, right? Other than Barrett, Knox, Obi Toppin, and quickly.
Can Obi Toppin get more, bro? Please.
He's averaging
Like,
4 points.
but that's also because he's only averaging like 11 minutes per game. That's like garbage time.
Yeah.
Like you're not giving him any time to like
My guy
succeed.
Kevin Knox did not play. If you don't know, Kevin Knox was like the guy who made that one year in Kentucky like really enjoyable for me to watch, but he has been really disappointing going into the NBA. He was compared to Paul George. Oh my god.
You know who has been good for the Knicks? Emmanuel Quickly has
Oh yeah,
been good.
another Kentucky guy who I did not know he had this type of scoring potential in the league. I watched him in Kentucky. He was really disappointing to me.
Man's just different. Like he's been playing well.
Yeah,
12.3 points a game in just 19 minutes.
yeah, I agree. I think he's been playing well. I think Harsh, we're gonna wrap up the stream now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
thank thank thanks for everyone who watched the stream live. We're gonna upload this into YouTube afterwards in a couple of days. You guys will hear our Super Bowl predictions. We went in through all the Super Bowl and then we talked about some NBA. I think generally, I think like this NBA season has been interesting. I just think I think we just need more games. Like it's been like a quarter through, but like I think we'll get better opinions and like when it's halfway through, we'll see who's the best teams and who's been playing the best. But right as of right now, it's really interesting. Like his Raptors have not been playing good. The Heat are struggling. I don't know if they will make the playoffs or not. The the Knicks have been playing well. And then Atlanta's in the playoff run too, so that's interesting. On the west side, we have Spurs surprisingly in the playoffs. And then we have everyone else is just outside the playoffs. Like this Western Conference is difficult. I see 14 of the 14 teams have a chance to make the playoffs. Well, I don't think Minnesota will make the playoffs, while the other 14 really have a good chance. Other than the Thunder, I don't know if they'll make it. But on the east side, we do have some competition. I think this is the first time where you could genuinely say it's a little bit balanced, both conferences, right, Harsh?
yeah. But the Western Conference is still a little better, but some balance has been restored
Yeah,
between the conferences.
I feel like the balance has been restored too. Yeah, other than that, guys, thank you for listening to the stream. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye bye.